Greetings lords and ladies, and welcome to the Westeros Vibe, where hounds seem to have 9 lives too. Before we start, I would like to remind you that links to every article or video covered this week can be found in the video description below. Also in the description you will find timestamps, so that you can choose which stories you will want to view. We started the week with Game of Thrones fans love the introduction of Lyanna Mormont of Bear Island. Jorah Mormont's niece, the current head of House Mormont, made quite an impression on her first show outing, prompting tons of memes and tweets regarding her badassery. Hopefully she will appear in many more episodes to raise the show quality and... oh yeah, it's Game of Thrones. She'll probably snuff it until season's end. Moving on to... Ian McShane breaks his silence on Secret Role. In an interview for Entertainment Weekly, Ian spoke at length about his minor role in the series, answering questions such as: one message Brother Ray keeps giving the Hound is that it's never too late to change, to start again. Do you think that message will stick? And everything about the production is so secretive. Once it was public that you were on the show, were you hounded, so to speak, about the role? For more, follow the link below and read. Next up, Brian Cogman talks last night's big character return. Care for spoilers. The character he is referring to is of course the Hound. About the subject he said the following: "It was my favorite week on Game of Thrones because it's a beautiful little 3-act play. Very much on purpose. It tonally doesn't really feel like Game of Thrones until the end when everyone gets slaughtered. Ian McShane is a new age ex-warrior with a painful history of violence, and he's found his own flock trying to rebuild their lives. He sees Sandor as a candidate. He recognizes in Sandor a bit of himself. The Hound, apart from being grateful, starts to open up to him. He's the first and only friend he's ever had in his life." In other news, read George R. R. Martin's Septim Merrybold Broken Man speech. Ian McShane's character is, as many have said, the blending of Septim Merrybold and the elder brother, with a vastly different personality. Septim Merrybold's speech from the books about Broken Man is widely considered to be one of George's best written, and the IGN is kind enough to have it posted in their article. What are you waiting for? Pause the video and read it. Link down below. Moving on to... Game of Thrones is becoming a pricey soap opera. In this article, the author compares Game of Thrones with soap operas past in an attempt to prove the title. Read more to see if he succeeded. Next up, Game of Thrones rating bounced back after Memorial Day dip with The Broken Man. The number this week is 7.80 million, which is almost a 1.1 million increase since previous week. We shall see how the last 3 episodes will fare. In other news, Game of Thrones just confirmed the scene we've all been waiting for. Spoilers ahead. The article talks of course about episode 9 Battle of the Bastards, Ramsay vs. Jon. On the subject, David Benioff said the following: "We wondered why don't you see more fully fleshed out battles in movies and TV? Then you get into the nitty gritty of what it takes to actually shoot these things in a way that isn't just helter-skelter chaos, but actually gives you a sense of battle geography and the ebb and flow, and you realize why." Moving on to... Game of Thrones Twitter data shows how the world reacted to major episodes. There are graphs aplenty for major moments in the show's history, so just take a look if you're interested. Link down below. Next up, Game of Thrones actor drops hint that his character may be returning. Careful for potential spoilers. There is some evidence that Syrio Forel, the first Sword of Braavos, will make his return to the show based on the wave shadow which resembles Syrio's, a tweet he put out, and his appearing on a show recently. For more info, read the article. In other news, the long-winded Winds of Winter, Game of Thrones season finale will be longest episode in show's history. Its length will be 69 minutes, 5 more than the previous longest, The Children, the season 4 finale. The Battle of the Bastards aftermath will certainly be a long and certainly epic season ending. Moving on to... Game of Thrones writer explains how characters travel so quickly. Brian Cogman's explanation is the following: The timelines between the various storylines don't necessarily line up within a given episode. For instance, the northern tour Jon and Sansa embark on would probably take a couple of weeks, but Arya's storyline over the past few episodes only spans a few days. We realized a while ago that if we tied ourselves in knots trying to make all the story days line up between all the characters, the momentum would suffer. Moving on to the lands of YouTube, we have more videos to talk about this week. Reviews and discussions for episode 7 Broken Man have been released by the following channels: AltShiftX, Elio and Linda, Emergency Awesome, Preston Jacobs, Red Team Review, Vassals of Kingsgrave with their Wolf and Dragon casts, and History of Westeros with their show-only and book-to-show discussion. Elio and Linda released a discussion about the latest Aeron chapter. Irish Thrones released a video about a Game of Thrones location, Corbet, Banbridge. Red Team Review released a Q&A follow-up to his review. Emergency Awesome has released a video about Bran Stark's visions, a Q&A for his review, and one about Lady Stoneheart. Preston Jacobs released a Q&A follow-up to his review. That is the news for the week ending on June 12th. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please like, share, comment and subscribe. And stay tuned. Goodbye everyone.